The Indiana Pacers, I would say in the NBA, have had their greatest success between the mid 1990s through the mid 2000s. And of course, that coincided with the career of Reggie Miller. And Reggie Miller is probably the most celebrated Pacer of all time. Um, but to be honest, there are some people who are older generation who remember the Indiana Pacers when they were part of the ABA. And they will tell you that Reggie Miller was a great player, but he's not the best player in the history of that franchise. Um, there's been some other players. There's been some great players who have played for that franchise. You have Mel Daniels, who died a couple of years ago, who I think, I have to think about this, but I think he's what is he? I think he has either the most rebounds in ABA history, or he has the highest rebounding average in ABA history. It might be the latter. But you have the great Mel Daniels, all right? You've had the Roger Brown, one of the forgotten great players of all time. Bill Cosby talked about him before. Um, and of course, you had was a great coach, Slick Leonard. And there's a fellow who has probably been shafted worse than any other ABA legend of all time, and that's George Mcginnis. George Mcginnis was 6'8", 230 pounds, was a little bit undersized for his position, even in his day, but he more than held his own. Um, he was explosive. He was athletic. Um, he was fast, and he was one of the great scorers of his era. For his career, when you combine ABA and NBA, he scored over 17,000 career points, but posted averages of 20.2 points per game, 11 rebounds per game, and 3.7 assists per game. Um, his resume is just sick when you consider how short a span he played in the ABA. But he was a two-time ABA champion, the ABA playoffs most valuable player in 1973, back-to-back ABA champions in 72-73, the ABA MVP in 1975, a three-time NBA All-Star, All-NBA first team, All-NBA second team, three-time ABA All-Star, two-time All-ABA second team, first team, and second team, ABA All-Rookie first team, and he was on the ABA All-Time team, meaning that he's considered one of the greatest ABA players of all time, along with a Dr. J and a Artis Gilmore and a George Gervin. You get what I'm saying? He's considered one of the best. So it's a shame that he had not been selected on any of these teams. Um, he was also on those early Sixers teams with Dr. J that were very, very good, but weren't able to get over the hump. Either they lost to the Portland Trailblazers, or they would lose to perhaps a Washington Bullets or somebody, or a Larry Bird and the Boston Celtics in the playoffs. Uh, he would later be reacquired by the Indiana Pacers, but by that time he was a shell of the player that he once was. He kind of faltered early in his career. Injuries took a toll on him, and by the time he was 31 years old, he wasn't half the player that he had been before. But George Mcginnis made his mark, and he was truly one of the best players I have to say this in ABA history. And um, finally, he has been chosen for the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, and this is quite an honor for him. And I'm glad he finally got to get in while he's still with us, as opposed to some people like I saw Jerry Krause is getting in, but he's not there. And then you think of another person who posthumously got in, like a Zell Mobidi. You know, he's not there. All these years that he had been retired, and you guys are just now getting these guys in when they're old. It's ridiculous. But congratulations.